Hello everybody, I'm Chris. Welcome to Lore Spire. Doing another Q&A session here today. In case anybody has any questions about their playthrough, about what's going on. I'm definitely not an expert, but I'll do my best to answer any questions or help out anybody that is stuck at any point or anything like that. Alright, I have played a few hundred hours of the beta. More than that, I guess. And I've been playing this game almost non-stop since it released. Pretty close to it anyways, except for work. So yeah, anybody that has any questions, just hit me up, let me know. And I'm going to be restarting, or not restarting, but picking up from picking up on the playthrough from the last session that we did, where we had just completed the Defender's Heart siege battle. And you come out here and you check the cart, you can get some gold and some loot and whatnot, so that's helpful. And if you haven't spoken to Joran Vane about the sword Radiance, you can do that. You definitely want to talk to him about Radiance and make sure that that you get him to agree to make a scabbard for it so that you can upgrade the sword later. I'm just going to go ahead and sell that stuff that I picked up, and then we're going to head on out. And I think what we're going to do next is go and do Wooljeffs Quest, which should be just north of Defender's Heart. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and head up here to the Thiefling's Hideout. And again, if anybody has any questions about anything, feel free to ask. That's mostly why I'm here. The game is just kind of a backdrop for people to watch. But the main reason is to answer any questions anybody might have. Okay, so we come here to the Thiefling's Hideout. We have to talk to the leader of the Thieflings. Again, I'm not going to go through all the dialogue and everything. Leave that for your playthrough. I don't really want to spoil any of that. I'm just kind of showing people how to get through this stuff right now while I'm doing this. But basically, you can either decide to help Wooljeff here or not. And if you do, you have to find out who stole this item that she's looking for. So we can agree to find the real traitor. That will advance the quest. Stolen Moon. You can see it there at the top of the screen. Okay, and it is possible if you know the answer, if you know who actually did it, because you've already done this as I have, you can actually just leave and go right back in without doing an investigation and tell her who did it. Which is it's actually Mel runes, if you want to do that. However, if you do that, at least on my playthrough when I did that, the quest did bug. It completed, but it also bugged and would not remove or would not check itself as completed in my quest log. But it did actually complete. I got credit for it. But just be aware of that. If you don't do the actual investigation, there's a chance that it may not mark as complete in your quest log. So the first thing that you do have to do if you're going to go do the investigation is return to Defender's Heart, enter the tavern, and you'll have to speak to Irabeth to see what she knows about the, I guess, crime or robbery that happened. Anyway, she's going to lead you to the next place that you have to go to actually find out what happened. You can choose, there's a traitor I'm trying to track down option. Oh, and be sure to let her know that the Tower of Estrid has been cleared of demons whenever you do that. Once you reach a certain point, if you haven't told her, then you can't complete the quest. Okay, so now that we know where to look to investigate, to figure out who stole the, what is it, the moon of, or crescent of the abyss, then we can go ahead and exit and head there on the world map. Okay, and you can see this was not here before, Ancestries and Wonders shop. That's where we need to go in order to perform our investigation. This is also where you get Finian the talking weapon, so even if you do skip doing the investigation and just tell the Thiefling boss that it was Melrunes who did it, you still want to come here to get Finian the talking weapon, who is very useful. And right here's Finian. Press on this hand, talk to him, and you should be able to take Finian with you. And if you look down here, now you'll have this option for Finian. And you can choose a weapon. You got to select whoever you want it for first. But you can choose a weapon, and then you just drag this weapon from here into the inventory slot of the person you want to equip it. And now you'll see that Lan is equipped with Finian the talking weapon. And it should pretty much always be an updated weapon version that's about as good as you can get for whatever part of the game that you are at. You can see here it's Composite, Enhancement +1, Cold Iron, and Ghost Touch. And this really does cut down a lot on the problem of not being able to find the appropriate weapon if you're using less common weapons for your weapon focuses and whatnot. Okay, now that we have Finian, you can go ahead, grab all this loot. And right here, we'll see this pile of trash that is actually a destroyed golem. And the password here is Hand of Aurori. And you can ask the golem what happened. Ask where your master is and where the basement is. And then I found out everything I need to know, and you'll get an athletics check to go ahead and move the golem so that you can access the basement and talk to its master. Grab that before I forget.
I hope you appreciate this.
Okay, so down here, just grab whatever loot there is. I thought there was more than that, but maybe not. Anyways, and then you'll find Philemon, Fruliatros? Yeah. Filament Fruliatros. The gnomish name if I've ever heard one. And you can talk to him and get his information about the robbery so that you can try to make your guess. Okay. And now that we've talked to him, there's a little bit more loot. We can go ahead and leave this place. That's everything that we need from here, and we can go back to the Thiefling hideout. I believe I forgot to turn on my, well, I guess I can believe it. But yeah, I forgot to turn on my other light and adjust it here. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn on my other light as well. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, that definitely looks a lot better. My face is not glowing nearly as much as it was, so that's good. Now we can head back to the Thiefling's hideout. And we can come over here and tell Sister Charisme who the actual thief is. And as I said before, it should be Melrune. Alright, and that's it. We've helped Wooljeff. And after talking to her, whenever you're ready to leave, Wooljeffs will insist on getting his apology, and if you can pass the diplomacy check, then you'll get a bonus reward here, but we did not. We failed the diplomacy check. That's unfortunate. You come over here and you open this up. Disarm the trap. And we can get some gear here, some loot. Actually, if we had passed the diplomacy check, then right here, this hidden wall would be opened and we could get some more bonus items in there. I don't remember exactly what it was. Like, it's nothing to be that concerned about, but, you know, we'd get a little bit extra if we had passed the diplomacy check.
Rely on me.
Almost forgot one box. Okay, and that's all for Wooljeffs Quest. That's out of the way. It's finished. Oh, as long as we're going back by Defender's Heart anyways, we may as well stop in and talk to Wooljeff. Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. We'll just save it because we're going to go ahead and go to Blackwing Library. And after we go there, that will force us to come back to the Defender's Heart. So let's go ahead and go there first.
Yet another obstacle.
Well, that was some pretty good loot from that one mob. There are definitely plenty of random encounters in this game, that's for sure. Ah, here we go. Okay, Ninio. This is the only playthrough that I've done, and done quite a few of them, where I did not get Ninio before the Defender's Heart siege battle. And not having her definitely makes that battle more difficult. She's one of the more, well, all the characters are interesting. Every time I run into a character, I say, this is one of the more interesting characters.
I don't know her.
Pretty much all of them are interesting.
Greetings, boys and girls. I am...
She looks like...
Who? Oh, them. Just an audience. They don't matter. Consider them a supplementary component of the coming experiment.
Okay. I suggest if you're doing this to go ahead and shrug and remain silent and just listen to it all because it is amusing, but for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and step in and attack.
Save the last one for me.
What are you doing? That's supposed to be on auto cache. You should not be running into combat.
World in crimson.
The absence of an answer is an answer too. Or so I have heard.
The result is statistically predictable, but it's unfortunate I had no... What about you?
Okay, so here she's asking what are Iomede's colors, and that is red and white.
This answer is correct. It is... Let's proceed. Did
And Aridin did not go on a crusade because the crusades did not start until after he died.
Correct. Aridin's death dates to 4606, and that is precisely the year when the world wound was opened. The first crusade started back in 40... Your knowledge would make Mendev's crusaders proud. My final question is...
And Aureliu Vorlesh is the architect of the world wound.
It seems to me that I owe you an explanation. It is, and I must admit, yes. I apologize for an... Do you wish to become my follower? To accompany me on my expeditions?
Yeah, I guess it is kind of meme-ish, but
To run errands for
I don't
me,
know.
perhaps
I
even
find
to
it
write
amusing.
down my deepest thoughts for the benefit of future generations? Oh, how splendid. Of course, I agree.
Oh, thank you
Truth
for
be
letting
told,
me
I
be
have
your
no money
servant.
to pay you, but... Huh? What? Oh, yes, the dangers and these battles. Excellent. Your first assignment.
Yeah, and Ninio, aside from the story and personality and whatever else, she's just a very useful character to have. She's a wizard, and it's always good to have a wizard in the party, of course. He comes in particularly useful whenever you get to Act 4. The Midnight Isles are a pain in the butt to navigate, but, well, You don't have to have her to navigate them more easily, but she is a wizard, and I had Dimension Door on her, and that made that place so much easier. Alright, let's head on up to the Blackwing Library. And here we should get the option to gain access to the Trickster Mythic Path. So, if you come in here, in case you didn't know, if you come in here before the Defender's Heart siege battle, then this fire has not actually started yet. And so you can actually save the Crusaders that just died. However, if you come here afterwards, and the fire has already started, you do get a much more comical option if you choose the Trickster Mythic Path option here. Right here. This is definitely not as humorous or enjoyable if they are not already on fire. Ma'am, we didn't know you were one of us. You heard her. Put out the flames. You blithering idiots. You cack-handed dimwits. You empty suits of armor. Quickly, you worms. If you keep dawdling, I'll throw you into the furnace at the Grey Garrison. Whoever doesn't pull his weight is a dead man. I'll take the other two into Baphomet's forces. And they start fighting. The leader starts hitting them, and I don't know. It's just amusing to me. This one on the left isn't pulling his weight. We have no room for sluggers. Caleb, deal with him. And he's dealt with. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Grey Garrison library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Step to it. And you'll see the consequences of that play out later in the Grey Garrison. And here we have our old friend Storyteller. First, before we go back to Defender's Heart, we want to finish checking this place. There is some loot. Mostly just books and things around here. Where was it there? There's that. But if we come over here, there's a secret door. There it is. And in here we can get a little bit of gear. I think there's one magical item somewhere. Maybe it's over here. Yeah, there we go. A quarterstaff. Alright, well, that's about it for this place. And we do need Storyteller, so we can just go ahead and talk to Storyteller and say that we're taking him back to the Defender's Heart with us. And now while we're here, we'll go ahead and talk to Wooljeff to finish the next part of his quest. Here's Wooljeff, and actually a cool thing, if you complete his quest there,
Chief, I got
uh,
something to show you.
you actually...
Although, of course, since that night, Chief, do you really know? Thieves have their ways. What? So she... I've been going to Fileman's to look at the moon ever since I was... This isn't just some shiny trinket. First, maybe some rich person's just... whatever you... So...
There we go. This is what I was talking about. You can actually talk to him, and he will function as another store for you. So, you know, sometimes this Thiefling store has some good items. You just gotta check in on it every now and then. They can, at times, be worth it. We're still pretty early on, so... I don't really buy gear this early in the game. I think we're good there. But just so you know, be sure to check back with him from time to time and see what he's got in stock. Oh, I didn't notice, but we actually gained a level. We can go ahead and do that. And I'm going to take Slumber. Inflict moderate wounds and... And there's not really anything too great at this level, I guess. Guess we'll take Pox Pustules. And we get Resist Fire from our patron. And I'm pretty much just auto-leveling everybody for the sake of time, since these are just meant to be quick playthroughs where I answer some questions and, you know, just help some people out or whatever. We don't really need trickery with her anymore since we have Wooljeff now. And Camellia isn't particularly great in battle, or at least I don't like using her that much anyways. I mean, she can be good if you build her correctly, but I prefer other characters for battle. Alright, so we can go ahead and rest now before we head out, so we don't have to worry about being exhausted or corruption or whatever else like that.
Running from the law, cutting purses.
Oh,
And we actually could, since we've already done the Defender's Heart Siege battle and we've already found the entrance to Grey Garrison. Actually, I don't even think you have to do the Defender's Heart Siege battle first. If you find the entrance to the Grey Garrison right away, I'm pretty sure you can just assault it if you want. But before we do assault that, I, at the very least, want to check the I want to check Topaz Solutions, but I don't think we actually have the quest for that yet. Let me speak to Anevia. Trying to remember who provides that quest. I think she gives us the one for the Tirabade residence. Oh, there we go. She does give Topaz Solutions also. Maybe Irbeth? Or maybe we already got the one for the Tirabade residence. But Topaz Solutions is the one that I really want to check, because in the beta, there were stone slabs there that you could use to answer puzzles. One puzzle in particular, Conundrum Unsolved. And anyways, on my first playthrough, those stone slabs were not there. And I could not find them anywhere throughout the game to be able to solve the puzzle at Conundrum Unsolved. So I'm curious if maybe my first playthrough was just bugged, or if possibly they took those out. Those puzzles were really buggy and having a lot of problems in the beta, so maybe they decided to just remove them. I'm not sure, but we're going to go check Topaz Solutions real quick just to find out. If you go here on your own, be sure to, if you come here on your own, be sure to be prepared for what can be a difficult fight if you're playing on higher difficulties. I've got it just, pretty much set to chill and relax right now. Since this isn't really about, trying to play on a higher difficulty. Oh, hey there, Woolly Ram. Wow, I hope your message hasn't been there for too long, I guess. I just kind of got into the groove of things with nobody being here, and I didn't notice that you had said anything there. You found you found all of the puzzle pieces there? Because in the beta, there were puzzle pieces there and at a place called something Hideout. You can't actually get there until the second act, really kind of the third act, because the battle to get there is kind of difficult, but like towards the end of the second act or beginning of the third act. And then there were also some puzzle pieces in the Topaz Solutions area. I spent like 4 hours trying to figure out where they had gone, where they were at, because I wanted to make a video on it. Were you able to were you able to solve the Conundrum Unsolved puzzle with just the pieces at the location? No, I didn't even think that they might have reworked the puzzle to where you could do that. And that would make a lot of sense, because those puzzles were a pain to try to find all those stone slabs. And in some cases, you could go too far, or something had happened to where you couldn't go get them anymore. So you did solve it, but you're not sure if you used only pieces from there? Because in the beta, this chest right here had stone slabs in it. Yeah, and they're not here either. I thought maybe my other playthrough was just bugged, but I mean, maybe they're all there at the Conundrum Unsolved place. I need to take a closer look at that. I was looking for more of them at other places. Anyways, that's good to know. Thank you for letting me know that. That'll definitely be helpful. I'm gonna go take a look at it probably after this live stream and see if I can't figure out how to get it solved. And if I can, then I'll probably put out a video on it coming soon. Oh, this alchemist is a pain in the butt. I should have been paying more attention to the fight. So anyways, how's your playthrough going? Sounds like it's going pretty good if you're solving puzzles and everything. Have you gotten to Act 4 yet? Okay, that's cool, that's cool. Okay, so then yeah, you're talking about it, Leper's Smile, I guess? And it's probably better not to be in too much of a hurry. I've been in a hurry, you know, because I want to make videos and whatnot for the channel for people. You know, it's definitely more enjoyable whenever you're not in a hurry, though. That is for sure, especially with all the bugs. They can get really frustrating sometimes. And whenever you're not in a hurry, it's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, I'll go play another game and, you know, come back and pick it up tomorrow and whatever else. Oh yeah, for sure. Turn-based is by far, it's so much more fun, it's so much better. You can actually think and strategize, you know, and you can control all the details of what's happening. You know, real time with pause is just like free for all. The only thing you can do is like just max buff everybody and just let them go. I mean, you can pause it like every 2 seconds to issue commands and whatever else, but if you're doing that, why not just play on turn-based anyways? I saw the patch that they released, I think, yesterday? Did they release another one today? I know the one yesterday, at least in the patch notes, because I read the patch notes, it says that it fixed the Arcanist Reservoirs bug. So, you know, hopefully it did, but according to the patch, they did address the issue. And there were some bugs I was hoping that they would address that they did not, which is unfortunate, but according to the patch, they did fix that, at least with the Arcanist. That's probably too loud, huh? I bet that's picking up on my microphone and sounding terrible. Retain your mythic feats? Why wouldn't you be able to retain your... Oh, retrain, not retain. You know what? I haven't actually tested that to see if you can or not. But I don't know if you're playing now or if you're going to be where you're playing later. But if you go to Hilore, if you're still on the campaign trail and you're just getting to Leper's Smile, then Hilore should be in your Crusader camp. He'll be close to the exit of it when you're outside of the tent, not the exit to the tent, but the exit to the actual like Crusader area when you're out amongst the soldiers. And anyways, he should be close to there. And you can talk to him to retrain and just see if he lets you retrain your mythic points too, like your feats and abilities. Okay, well, let me finish. You know what? Nobody else really is here anyways. Nobody's talking to me. Let me just finish this conversation real quick, and I'll load up one of my other save files, and we'll check it out real quick and see if we can do that or not. May as well. Apparently Wednesday night is not going to be a very good night to stream. We had a lot more people on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. You're the only person that I've actually seen here tonight, so... let's see... Okay, if I go back to here, this should be before... Yeah, this is before Leper's Smile, so you won't really see anything that ruins what's coming up. And we should be able to check it out in the camp if we can respec our mythic points or not. Yeah, Wednesday night is a work night. And so, I mean, it makes sense, you know. It definitely does. I just wanted to try out a different night. Like, I'm gonna come back tomorrow night, and I'm just probably gonna end up trying out each night and just seeing which one works best. I thought maybe a weekday night, like, people wouldn't be going out to, you know, their friends' houses or the clubs or bars or whatever, you know, so maybe like a weekday night there might actually be some more interest. But it doesn't seem like that is the case. All right, let's check out Hilore here at our camp. Yeah, what'd you do? So sell all of those just before you assaulted the gray garrison, I guess, because you get him pretty much immediately after that. That's all right. You'll find some more. Well, you'll find some more fairly soon. There's actually an extremely good glaive at the end of Act 2 that you should get from the boss there. So I used that one on... You get it at the end of Act 2, and I used it all the way, like, until... I didn't replace it until during Act 4. So for an entire Act plus, that's how good it was on Social. Anyways, here... Hilore should be here. Or, there he is. There he is. And I believe if we select, we need, my companions and I need good training. And let's see, I can select myself. Sure. Oh, you know what? I haven't actually put my mythic points anywhere, so let me just do that real quick. And let's see if it lets me retrain them. Oh, wow. Okay, so doing this lets me, or doesn't just let me, it actually forces me to retrain everything. I got to choose my class again, and I'm just gonna choose whatever just to make sure that it resets the mythic points. I'm sure that it's going to reset the mythic points too. I thought maybe it might just give you like a choice to, you know, reset your mythic points or reset your feats or something like that instead of making you do the whole class over again. But that's the way it did it in Kingmaker, so I guess I should have expected it. None of this really matters. I'm just trying to figure out how this works. Well, you're probably right about that, Woolly Round. Most of them probably aren't that big on bars and clubs, but you know, I also threw, you know, like going into your friend's house, going over to your friends' houses and stuff like that, which maybe CRPG gamers are not that big on that either. Um, I've never been big on bars or clubs or anything, but uh, at least whenever I was in my 20s, I would, you know, usually like Friday and Saturday nights at least, go over to a friend's house and usually like couch co-op some game for most of the night or something like that. Yeah, I mean they do make things a ton easier, especially clerics and oracles because you just get so much healing that all you have to do is be able to survive the battle, and then you're pretty much, you know, 100% full life and, you know, almost back to normal minus the spell slots that you used during the battle. And they also have so many buffs and stuff that uh, the battles are way easier than they would be if you didn't have those buffs. And we can see here that yes, respecking did restore my mythic points. So you should be able to respec your mythic points like this. You'll have to redo your entire class, which might be a little bit annoying, but at least you're not like level 15 or something like that. You should only be like level, what, 7 or 8 if you're around this area, I think. But you know, if it's getting like way too easy for you, they always have unfair and hard mode, where even the buffs from clerics and sorcerers, uh, you know, they don't really help enough to make it easy mode there. Yeah, Willy Ram, I just did it. Whenever you respec with Hilore, he lets you respec your class and everything. And you can do this for every character. So you can respec any of your companions into any class that you want, which I knew for sure that we could do. I just wasn't sure if it reset your mythic points or not. I figured it did, but since nothing else was going on, I wanted to check it out for you. But yeah, you can respec your class or your companions' classes. I believe, though, if you respec your companion's class, that they can only respec from level 2. Like, they'll always have at least one level in whatever the base class they had whenever you got them. Let's double check that to make sure I'm not wrong, but that's the way it was during the beta. Okay, yeah, see, whenever I respect myself, I went all the way through character creation again. But whenever I respect Sela, she has 1 point in Paladin. So I could, multi-class her, but she's always going to have at least 1 point in Paladin. So anyways, yeah, that's kind of what you can do with your respecking. And I hope that helps you out whenever you get home and you get to play again. Yeah, Woolly Ram, that's actually true. I actually did my save at the very end of the at the very end of it, so that way I didn't have to go through the whole garrison again. But doing it right before, that's perfectly viable also, and it does give you a chance, I guess, to go back and do anything that you want to do with that character. Just make sure that you're picking up and doing everything along the way. But yeah, I mean, you could respec to do the Gray Garrison however many times you want. I think after your first 3 or 4 times, though, it does cost gold. And actually, a really good point or part to respec at, I found, also is at the end of Act 2, after you finished or the assault on Dresden, but before Act 3 actually starts, like before you actually choose your mythic path, you can go ahead and save the game there, and that way you have a save file where you can choose any mythic path and just play from there, and you don't have to do the first 20 or so hours before Dresden. Because it's not until the end of there that you actually pick your mythic path. So just if you want to save some time, that's an idea. I gotta remember where I was at. Not on this save file, on this one. Actually, I know that you're working Woolly Ram, so you can't really talk that much. If you have any more questions, I'll give you a few minutes to just go ahead and ask them. But after that, I'm probably going to go since there's nobody else here. I'll probably go and start playing my Swarm That Walks playthrough. I want to try to get to the end of that so I can put out an actual guide for the mechanics on it. I actually just put out a video on how to unlock it where I go detailed step-by-step instructions. If you're interested in that and you haven't seen it yet. Yeah, that's definitely good that they allow for the respecking options. It would be extremely annoying if you had to start all the way over. It's just so time consuming. This game is, getting through the first 3 chapters is like, I don't know, I think it took me almost 30 hours or so. Maybe it was only like 25, something like that. All right, yeah, no problem, Wooly Ram. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it, and I was glad to help you out. And I will be back tomorrow. We're going to see if Thursday does any better than Wednesday. around the same time. So anyways, enjoy your shift. And I guess maybe if you get a chance, drop by tomorrow and I'll see you then. Oh, just as I say that, we have a newcomer, Dark Horse 2020. Hey, Dark Horse. Yeah, 24 hours. I mean, that sounds about right. I said 30, but I think it might have only been 25, something like that. I could go back and look at all my saves, but I mean that sounds pretty close. Anyways, yeah, Dark Horse. I was actually just about to get off. There hadn't really been too many people. I mostly just was doing this to answer questions for people, any that they might have on the game. But I'm going to be back tomorrow night at the same time, 7:30 Central Time. And if there's more people, I'll stay on, until like 9:30. If there's actually people with questions. But there's not really anybody here with any questions tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and take off. But thanks for dropping in, and if you get a chance to come back tomorrow night, I'd love to see you here. All right, so you guys take care, and I'll be back tomorrow night.